It's not often at all that you see any athlete go from athlete to musician, but so what?
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster.
Arian Foster.
Trying to be the best teammate I can be. Trying to be the best teammate I can be. All right, y'all take care.
I fully expect to participate in practice today.
Part of the reason why you get to where you're at in this league is because you fall in love with the grind. You fall in love with waking up at 4:30 and working out 2-3 times a day, and you fall in love with that and you like to do it. And there comes a time where you don't like to do that anymore.
Arian Foster just announced his retirement on the website Uninterrupted. Foster writes he is walking away with peace. He just did not have it in his heart to rehab another injury.
At the early part of this decade, Arian Foster was the best overall running back in the NFL, but it never felt like Arian wanted to make this long term. He was going to do it his way, and he was going to get out.
I retired in the middle of the season like that, and that's not really commonplace. You know, it kind of seemed like it was an abrupt stop, but in my mind, it had been winding down for a while now. I'm 30 years old. That's old for football, but it's young for life.
If there was an anti-numbers, an anti-stats, an anti-cookie cutter guy in the last decade in the NFL, 100,000% that is Arian Foster.
There used to be articles that make, oh, he wants attention, but it had nothing to do with that. All it was it was breaking the monotony for me, because every single day they ask you the same questions, and it's just after a while it's like you could write this article yourself, because it's the same questions as last week and the same questions as 2 years ago. So it was just for my sanity, because I got so sick of it.
Yes, that's what I do. I know the type of person Arian is. He's very outgoing, outspoken, man.
Yeah.
So.
He has no problem with it. Yes, sir.
Okay, is that roll?
Got it?
Yep.
We're in our English class. Arian brought a toaster to school, had a loaf of bread and some jelly, and Arian sets up his toaster. And the teacher's like, hey, put that toaster up. And he's like, man, I haven't ate, I'm hungry. And he's like, I don't care, we're reading this book. And he puts the toast in, he toasts the toast. The teacher gets mad, man. He goes down the hall, gets the principal, pull Arian out of class. All Arian was worried about at that time was his toast. You know what I mean? He was gonna read the book, but he just wanted to eat his toast.
I couldn't tell you why I did it, man. It's just one day I was like, F him, I'm gonna eat in his class. And it was just the most disrespectful thing I could think of, I guess, at the time.
He was always different. A little weird, a little on the weird side.
But that's the kind of kid he was. He just was never happy doing the normal stuff. He wanted to do different. We are in what's considered Southeast Albuquerque, and I met their dad. He came here to the University of New Mexico to play football. We were young, had 3 kids, and very poor. We did what we could. They did sometimes play football in the street. Mostly it was either in someone's yard down there or in our yard over here. That last one down at the bottom, I think that's the one we lived in. They were latchkey kids. When they got home from school, they would let themselves in and do homework. Their sister was like their mom. She whipped them into shape and made them do homework. Probably got in a lot of trouble when we weren't there. Well, I remember one time that we came home, their dad and I came home, and you could smell sulfur like you'd been lighting matches, and they didn't even bother hiding it. There was a pile of matches on the counter, and so we were asking who lit the matches, and immediately Christina and Abdul were like, it was Arian. They sold him out quick.
So am I looking at the camera or not looking? I'm looking at you, okay. Yeah. When there were challenges, when there were things going on inside of him that he really couldn't figure out, and he didn't want to talk anything out to anybody, he would grab a pen and he would grab a notebook and he would begin to jot down things. When his mother and I broke up, saw him in his notebook quite a bit. He used to sign his name all the time. He would put it on mirrors, he would put it in his notebook, and he used to tell us when he was a kid, one day that name's gonna become famous.
Everybody that knows me knows that I fell in love with my pen before I did football.
It's not often at all that you see any athlete go from athlete to musician, but so what? That transition will be very hard, so I think it's important that I keep in mind that I'm really not doing this for anybody else but myself. He's been doing music as far back as I can remember. He was into it. You know, it's always music for him. He just did football, and then when the time came for him to do music, you know, he's gonna put it out there. He's gonna put what he's been through out there.
When I hear his stuff, I don't hear like, oh, he's just doing this just to do it. Like, no, he really has a passion for it. He really puts thought into his lyrics and knows what sound he wants to get across.
He's as genuine to emceeing as anyone that I've been around in the culture. You know, hip-hop has always been very vulnerable, and it's been the artists who have been willing to embrace and share that vulnerability who have always made the deeper connection.
No one really knows anything about how great of a musician he is. It's an entirely different world. You don't see anyone really transition being from an NFL Pro Bowl running back to an incredible R&B artist.
So I know people will critique it, I know people will like it, I know people will hate it. That's not why I got into it, that's not why I made it. I made music because it's how I express myself. This is me sonically, you know what I mean? This is everything that I am in sound wave form.
They ask me why I be walking around alone. Because it's lonely at the top and it's lonely at the bottom, so the hoping never stops. That's why everybody settles for the middle of the crop. Cause I guess on every level people scared they gon' flop, but I'm scared I'm gon' make it and get everybody props and have all these expectations like I owe somebody guap.